Alright, hi guys. So we're going to talk about today door manners and how to help teach your puppy that the way to get the door to open is to wait patiently. So we're going to do this two different methods. One, we're going to work on, I'm going to show you a method for just using Doggy Zen and generally getting your dog's focus and attention as the way to then get you to open the door and release them through that. And then we're going to do a second one where you work on a wait, an actual formal like wait cue. And for the wait cue, you can incorporate a position change, whether it's a sit, a down, or a stand if you'd like. I honestly tend to just do a generic wait, means freeze your feet and don't move them until you're released. So this is also where your release cue comes into play for both methods. So when you do this, if you are using an exit door that does not then exit out into a safe area, i.e. a safely fenced in space, definitely have your dog on a leash. Right now, for the sake of the video, because my house is small, we're going to work this as if we were going into the house, but this is an exercise you definitely want to practice when you're exiting an outside door. So you're coming from inside the house to outside the house, or inside the car to outside the car, or inside the fenced area to the outside non-fenced area, as it's a basic safety behavior. So if you were doing this on leash, you just follow the same protocols. Again, the leash would be there for safety, not as a primary control device. So you want to avoid having a tight leash unless you need to do that for safety because, say, your dog rushed out because you increased criteria too quickly. All right. Okay, so method number one, using Doggy Zen. Now, in this method, as with the second method, we're going to do approximations. So the first stage is simply you're near the door and you're able to get your dog's attention and focus. Once they're able to focus on you, you then open the door and release them through that. All right, so first stage is here. As with Doggy Zen, Tom and Zora are going to decide they're going to play with me. The first stage is you want your dog's focus on you, not on the cookie you have in your hand. So you wait. Yes, good dog. Excellent. Good. Okay. And you. Good dogs. Awesome. Okay. So if you watched and noticed the timing on that, when they gave me their attention, they looked at me. I marked that with my yes. I delivered the cookie as I was opening the door. The reason I do that is I want to time the delivery of cookie to reinforce them waiting as I open the door, rather than the door opens, they rush right through and take their attention off of me. All right. So now we're going to do the next approximation. So at this one, I put my hand on the door, ready to go. I'm going to wait for my dog to give attention to me in Doggy Zen. Then as they're providing attention, I'm going to open the door just slightly. If they're able to maintain attention on me at that point, I'm going to release them to go through the door. If, when I open the door slightly, I lose their focus, I'm going to just shut the door again, because it's only open a tiny crack, and I'm going to simply wait. Once the dog gives me attention back, again, I'm going to praise that, and we're going to go back to step one. All right, so first stage, I'm going to wait for attention. Good dogs. I'm going to open the door. Yes, good. So as I opened the door a little, they were able to maintain attention on me. Then again, I deliver the treat, then I go open the door. So I want to try to reinforce that staying on this side as I go through first is a higher value reinforcement behavior. Good dogs. Yay. So you would progress through this with Doggy Zen until you're able to stand there, you get instant attention and focus. You're able to open the door all the way. Your dog's able to stay focused on you, not on the door. Oops. So there, they both thought about anticipating, so I just shut the door and we work it again. Good dogs. Yes. Good. Okay. Okay. Good dog. And you saw when I got the door a little more open, both dogs started to anticipate I was going to release them through. So I just shut the door. I waited for their attention again. I praised them for the fact that they gave me attention. And then we worked it again until they were able to stay there, give them their treats, and then I released them through. Each time I give my okay release, which is my dog's release cue. Your might be free, break, release, whatever you're using, and you build from there. All right, so method number two, we're going to work on an actual wait. Like I said, you can choose to do a static position that you ask your dog to do, either a sit, a down, or a stand. I tend to just do a generic wait cue. So for this, I oftentimes don't have cookies in my hand. We're simply going to use the environment environmental reinforcers if they get permission to go through the door. But what I do in this one is once I've released them through the door is I do ask for them to focus back on me, and I do this with either method, and that's the behavior I would then reinforce with an extra cookie, because once they go through the door, there's a lot of distractions out there, and I want to really high value for focusing back on me. Oh, hi Lou, you want to play too? All right. So just like in method 1 with Doggy Zen, the first thing I want to do is wait for my dog's general attention, and because we're going to be asking for a wait behavior, I want to wait until my dog is still. Stays and waits are all about stillness. So if my dog's tap dancing or their feet are moving around, I'm not going to go further with the door. So the very first stage is I stand here with my hand on the doorknob and I wait for stillness. Good dogs. So if my dogs are being still, I praise that. And that's when then I would release them. Okay, let's go through. Good dogs. Yay. Hi, Lou. Okay, come on. Good dogs. All right, if my dogs can do that, similar as with method 1, then the next piece is I wait for stillness, I remind them to wait, and I start to open the door. If they're able to maintain stillness, yes, okay, good dog. Yay. So in this method, what we're reinforcing again is stillness. Louie, hi honey. She says, but we're doing silly stuff. I know. So again, in method 2, what we're looking at is a wait, which is stillness from your dog. So if your dog starts to move, just as we did in method 1, we'd simply shut the door, wait for stillness again, and then do a lesser approximation, i.e. make it easier for your dog to be successful. So if as I open this door, Tom started, oh wait, there you go, he started to move his feet. So I just cue the wait again, I freeze, my hand's still on the door, I didn't open the door further, I wait for stillness again, wait. Okay, good job, nicely done. So again, in either method with the door, whether you're using Doggy Zen or you're using a wait, what you want to do is set your criteria, whether your criteria is focus and attention on you, or whether your criteria is going to be a wait stillness, either in a sit, a down, or a stand. And then you add that criteria to be what then gets you to open the door. So if the dog isn't meeting that criteria, then you don't open the dog further. If the dog breaks criteria, you shut the door and you rework it again until your dog starts to really grasp and understand, oh wait a minute, I know how to make the door work. The way I get humans to open the door is I either give them attention or focus if you're doing Doggy Zen, or I simply hold still and don't move my feet until I hear the release cue.